Hey, this is Bean. Welcome back to EarthBound Beginnings. Last time we played, we were just on our way out of Magicant, and now we're gonna finally get out of there and go back into the normal world that we know and love. This is the last obstacle on our way out of Magicant. He is a forgotten man. He's gonna talk at us for a really long time, and we just kind of have to listen to him. That's pretty much all there is to it. He's gonna do some rambling about how he's lonely and how he's been alone from the moment he was born. Saying a whole lot of sad stuff. Then he's going to throw a yes or no question at us. And if we answer it wrong, which I do, then we have to go back to the start of this extended dialogue sequence. Gonna cut right back to where I was before. Yeah, weird little, weird kind of funny mechanic. Just, you know, be sure to answer everything correctly, or else you have to go back to the start of that conversation tree. In the original Japanese version, if you answered any of those questions wrong, you would get kicked all the way back to the start of those caves. So that's something that got made a little bit easier for the American release. And look at that, we're back out. Now we're not where we were before. That cave spit us out somewhere a little bit different. Somewhere so different that now we're fighting a big ol' eagle. Eagle is a little stronger than the enemies we were running into in Podunk, but luckily by this point we're strong enough that it's not really too big of a deal. That boomerang we picked up in Queen Mary's castle is very helpful. We are, of course, still very low on psychic points from that battle with the fish we had earlier, but we're about to come across our second town, so that shouldn't be too bad. Little Saucer, we've run into him before. We don't have to worry about him. So I would like to welcome you to the town of Marrysville. They've got an elementary school right there, and they've got NPCs and everything. Open up the map here, show you where it is relative to Podunk, and here we are. I guess technically it's the third town if you count Magicant, but I don't really count Magicant. Magicant kind of exists outside of this realm, the real world, so to speak. And yeah, the cops that were guarding that bridge to Marrysville, they're not there anymore, so we can get back to Podunk if we really want to. I don't think we have much reason to, other than to talk to our little sister and get something out of her inventory. And that's not really a journey worth making, because it's a long one. Anyways, the department store in Marrysville is not all that different from the one in Podunk. I buy a repel ring, I sell my bat, and that's pretty much all I do. Repel ring is a handy little item, makes life actually very, very easy, especially in a game like this, because what it does is, it's basically like a repellent, exactly like in Pokemon. It drives weak enemies away. Now, I thought it was like a ring, like the brass ring that I picked up in Magicant, and that I would equip it, but apparently what it is, it's a one-time use, effectively. Lesson learned. Duncan Enterprises. So the vibe I get from Marrysville is that it's a little more developed and a little bigger than Podunk. You've got a school, you've got a railroad station, you've got a couple of factories here and there. It's the industrial counterpart to your homey little hometown of Podunk. Now that is a rule set I can get behind. Hotel in Marrysville works much the same as it does in Podunk. Except it's a little pricier. So, we've been doing a lot of adventuring. Oh my gosh, so kind. We've been doing a lot of adventuring, but one thing we haven't been doing is any of our homework, so maybe we should catch up on some of that schoolwork and, you know, get to learning. Welcome to Twinkle Elementary. This is a charming little location. Just like in Magicant, I'm going to just be spending a lot of time just talking to everybody. I was gonna cut this segment out, but I really couldn't excise any of this dialogue. I couldn't decide on any of it because it's all just so good and charming. There are not many kids in this classroom. I don't even go to this school. What are you talking about? The music here I really like. This is another track that only plays in this one area, but it's really good and really charming. Aw, she can't do a cartwheel. Oh no, that poor girl. That poor cartwheel-free girl. Doesn't seem like a whole lot of education is going on here at Twinkle Elementary, but you know what? That's okay. Oh my god. Well, I just got bodied by the teacher, and I deserve it. God, that was ruthless. What is a noodle noggin? What could that even be? Oh heck yeah. Love all the Nintendo illusions we're getting. I don't know if you caught earlier, the first NPC we talked to mentioned that he was playing Super Mario Bros. 7, which I would love to get a hold of personally. Yeah. This is some really good kid dialogue. I really like the line of dialogue, "Don't take me for an ordinary man coming from a child." Oh my gosh. Guys, I like this game. This is a pretty good game overall. I thought I'd be able to play this piano, but I can't? Totally seems like a place where you should be able to get a melody, right? Maybe I have to do something later. I don't know. Inventory's full, so I'm not messing with these presents. I like to imagine these two bullies with Cockney accents for whatever reason. You can imagine that for yourself. I'm not going to put you guys through a Cockney accent. Oh gosh. So we're hearing a lot about this Stumpy character, eh? I guess we better find out what that's about. Also, that child just sneezed on us and gave us a cold. Now, unfortunately, the healing psychic move we have doesn't cure colds, nor does antidotes. We have to go right to the doctor, I'm afraid, and that doctor is none other than an old, cantankerous, rude fella named Old Sawbones Benny. Now here is... You thought that teacher was ruthless. Wait till you get a load of Old Sawbones Benny. First, show me your money. Ruthless. He just charges you half of whatever you have. No matter how much cash you have, he'll just charge you half of that amount. He also has a really incredibly mean thing to say if you refuse, which I'll do just now. God. So you've come to expect a lot of things from this game, but were you expecting a scathing indictment of the US healthcare system? I certainly wasn't. This nurse will heal your health for free, but not your psychic points or any status ailments. Blatantly disobeying the teacher, because this ain't even my school. Yeah, I don't care. I feel so rebellious. Anyways, the roof is locked. We gotta get up on the roof. How are we gonna do that? Go in here, talk to the janitor. Now, just like the Forgotten Man at the end of the Magicant Caves, we're going to be put through a bit of a long conversation tree, and we've got to answer all these yes or no questions with the right answer. And if we answer any of them wrong, we got to go back to the start of the conversation tree. We got to listen to him complain about his wife. But unfortunately, you can't just say yes all the time, because then she gets mad that you're bad-mouthing his wife. Which is fair. Just having to listen to an old janitor ramble is maybe one of the realest moments in this game. Let me ask you something. What do you think about the fact that the Forgotten Man, who just spits out a bunch of negative stuff and has a big long conversation tree that you have to get perfectly right, is placed in the game so close to this janitor who behaves almost exactly the same way gameplay wise? What do you think the game's trying to say? I don't really know. Makes you think though. Unforgettable view indeed. It's actually completely not at all proportional with the building we saw outside, but it's still a pretty good view. Anyways, here's a trash can. A talking trash can. Just kidding, there's a child inside this trash can who stole some explosives. Who could it be but the poor, bullied Stumpy? He just wants to fly some bottle rockets. Can't the kids just let him have his fun? Man, it's tough being a kid. Before we wrap up, we're gonna just talk with some more NPCs and see what they've got to say. There's a janitor's wife. There's a fella concerned about losing money to monsters. There's the ordinary man. There's the ordinary man. Referenced earlier by one of the kids in the school. So we've got a factory to the north, another factory to the south, and a railroad station that seems to be blocked by rocks. Those seem to be the problems plaguing Marrysville. Doesn't seem quite as severe as the problems plaguing Podunk, which is nice. Nice to bring us back down to earth after the just wacky time that was Magicant. Ooh. Someone's got political opinions, and it's that guy. Now I like this guy a lot. Yeah, he pretty much got it in one. We can go to Podunk from the west here. We're not going to do that, as I explained earlier. It's not really worth going all the way back to Podunk, really. And that about wraps it up for this time. Next time we're going to head south and go to Sweet's Little Factory so that we can get this strange, bullied child some bottle rockets and prove that we are worth his time. Maybe we'll be making a new friend. Who knows? Tune in next time and find out. Bye.